Plank camel, night and day racing. Sure, this is 22 in Arbor. Sure-footed, like the planks of a litter, I urge her on down the bright highway. This is the one who goes on for millions of lines about his camel. That back of a striped mantle, she vies with the noble hot-paced she-camels, shank on shank, nimbly flying over a path many feet of beaten. A path many feet of beaten, what's that? The sunnah. The original definition of sunnah was a path over which many people had feet had beaten. A path in the wilderness. Along the rough slopes from the milkless she's pastured in springs, cropping the rich meadows green in gentle rains. To the voice of the caller she returns and stands on guard with her bunchy tail scarred of some ruddy tuft-haired stallion, as though the wings of a white vulture enfolded the sides. And now we get this description that doesn't end for 20 lines. Just like the woman in Imral Al-Qais, the hunting in the one we just read, what was it, Labid? Anon lashes her dry udders, withered like an old water skin, perfectly firm as her flesh and her two thighs. Now this is not the woman, this is the camel now. They are the gates of a lofty, smooth-walled castle, and tightly knit are her spine bones. Now this, I think, sounds like it was written by an urban camel jockey in Baghdad, not by a real Bedouin, because I don't think a real Bedouin would write like this about his camel, but I may be wrong. Her underneck struck with well-strung vertebrae, fenced about by twin dens of wild low trees. She might say bows were bent under a buttress spine. Widely spaced her elbows as she strides, carrying the two buckets of a sturdy water carrier like the bridge of the Byzantine. That's what I mean, comparing his camel to the bridge of a Byzantine. Whose builder it should be all encased in bricks to be raised up true. Reddish the bristles of her chin, firm her back, broad the span of her swift legs, smooth her swinging gait. Her legs are twined like rope up-twisted. Her forearms thrust slantwise up to the prop roof of her breast. You say, well, would they be forging them? Well, the rhythm, the rhyme, the meter, to show their mastery of Arabic, that they could write a poem in pure Arabic just like the Bedouin masters, and add verse after verse after verse after verse of the same line and the same meter to show their intellectual facility and masterfulness. But then you get this kind of thing. Widely spaced her elbows, as if she strode carrying the two buckets of the sturdy water carrier over the, yeah, I read that too. Her forearms thrust slantwise up to the prop roof of her breast. Swiftly she rolls, her cranium huge, her shoulder blades high hoisted her to frame her lofty raised superstructure, ... meaning we skip some that actually you'll find in the Kritzig book. Her long neck is very erect when she lifts it up, calling to the mind the rudder of a Tigris-bound vessel. So now they're on the Tigris River, and the neck of his camel he's comparing to a Tigris vessel. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's good poetry, but I don't think it was written by a Bedouin. Her skull is most like an anvil, the junction of her two halves, and I don't think this was written by a Bedouin, because it seems to me someone trying to think, well, how would a Bedouin write about his camel? Bedouins like camels, so how would he write? So then he would write like this to show how a Bedouin would write about his camel. But anyway, it's if it's not Bedouin, it's a product of 800s in Baghdad, so it's still pretty classic. Her skull is like an anvil, her cheek is smooth as Syrian parchment. No. Her split lip, tanned hide of Yemen. I don't think so. It's slit, not bent crooked. Her eyes are a pair of, I mean, how do I know? I don't know. I'm just going by intuition. I'm a doubter. I said the university subjects everything to systematic doubt. In her calves are the high brow bones, the rock of Pool's hollow. Her ears are true. Oh my God, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I'm saying, Professor Eisenman, save us, enough, enough, enough. Well, yeah. Where's page 23? I don't think there it is. And then finally he changes gears and speaks, he says, of his dissolute youth. How when he was young he drank wine. I tippled wine and took my joy and sold and squandered my hoard and my patrimony till all my family deserted me, and I sat alone like a lonely camel scabby with mange, yet I saw the sons of the dust did not deny me. So he talks about, because he was supposedly killed in a barroom brawl, I think, or something like that. So now this poem has tavern material and some material like that. Let's just quick take a look at if I can find it. back to Kritzik here. He's got the whole poem again. He doesn't cut it like Arbery does, which I object to cutting things. So he got on here about the tigress-bound vessel. This is on page 59 of Kritzik. And he gets here to, her ears are true, clearly detecting a night journey, the fearful rustle of a whisper, the hyper's crowd, sharp tipped, her noble pedigree plain in them, pricked her ears like a wild cow of Hamul alone pasturing. Her trepid heart pulses strongly, quick yet firm as a pounding rock set in the midst of a solid boulder. If you so wish, her head strains in the saddle's pommel, and she swims with her forearm, fleet as a male ostrich. And if you wish, her pace is slack or swift to your fancy, fearing the curled whip, fashion of twisted hide, slit as her upper lip, her nose bored and sensitive, delicate when she sweeps the ground with it, fast as she runs, such is the beast I ride. When my companion cries, would I might ransom you, and then he goes on to this dancing girl wine game. And I am at her with the whip, and my she-camel quickens her pace, and I am not one that skulks fearfully among the hilltops. And if you hunt me in the taverns, there you'll catch me. Come to me when you will, I'll pour you a flowing cup. And if you don't need it, well, do without it, and good luck to you. Whenever the tribe is assembled, you'll come with me to the summit of the noble house. And my boon companions are white as stars, and a singing wench comes to us in her striped gown, as her saffron robe, wide the opening of her collar, delicate her skin to my companion's fingers. She's dancing one of these belly dances that we're now familiar with. Tender her nakedness. We say, let's hear from you. She advances to us, chanting fluently, her glance languid as song. Did these things end in the same place? I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, this one doesn't. Where's 23? Lost that. It's a different end here according to Arbery's translation. But anyway, it gives you a good example of those poems. One last one I want to look at is this tale of Antara, the Black Knight. Now, when we're talking about Arab color blindness at that time, Antara is considered to be black. Obviously, the son originally probably of an Afro-Arab slave of some kind. And then he bore a wife of one of these chieftains or something like that. His poem is only given to you in the Arbery collection, but because he was considered to be the best warrior of his time and he answered challenges about his skin color with the fact that he could fight better. So this is a war poem. We've had love poems, we've had camel poems, we've had wine poems, we've had dancing poems. Now we have a war poet in Antara. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is.